Coming up on City Spotlight, we are talking Charleston. We'll be talking Eastern Illinois University in the first segment. Dr. Jay Gatrell, Provost and Vice President of Academic Affairs, and Josh Norman, Vice President for Enrollment Management, will discuss the recent realignment of academic course areas at EIU, also recruiting new students to EIU, and EIU's use of social media. And then we'll talk with Andy Trueblood. He's a volunteer blood drive coordinator for the American Red Cross, about a recent blood drive where 2 Charleston residents were honored. We're talking Charleston next on City Spotlight. City Spotlight is supported by Consolidated Communications. CCI is honored to salute the cities and their leaders in the area, as well as providing TV, internet, and phone service to local homes and businesses. We live where we work and are proud to support the communities we serve. More information available at consolidated.com. Welcome to another edition of City Spotlight. We're kicking off Season 5 here on City Spotlight, and in this first episode of Season 5, we are talking Charleston. And in this first segment, we're going to be talking all about Eastern Illinois University. And we have 2 gentlemen here that are going to help us out. We have Dr. Jay Gatrell. He is the Provost and Vice President of Academic Affairs at EIU. Welcome, Jay.
Thank you for having us.
Pleasure to have you. We also have Josh Norman. He's the Associate Vice President for Enrollment Management at EIU. Josh, welcome.
Thank you.
Pleasure to have you guys both here. Look forward to catching up on EIU as the spring semester just concluded. Before we talk about EIU and how this past school year went, you're both first-time guests here on City Spotlight. Can you tell us about yourselves? We'll go with Jay first.
Well, I've been at EIU since last June, and it's really exciting to be in Charleston and on campus. I'm a geographer by training, so I was a faculty member in that department, and I've actually had the opportunity to teach this year, so it's been especially exciting. So that's sort of me in a nutshell in terms of what a provost does.
Right.
Everyone also always wants to know what a provost does. You know, ordinarily we oversee the academic mission of the institution. And I function as the chief academic officer of the institution. I work with the deans and the faculty to advance academic programs, focus on student success, and high quality outcomes.
All right. Thank you for that description of what you do, Jay. And Josh, can you tell us about yourself, please?
Sure, I'm Josh Norman, and I've lived in Charleston since I was 14 years old. I've lived a lot of different places. I was born in Decatur, moved to Springfield to McHenry to Effingham, and finally to Charleston. And honestly, Charleston was really the first place that really felt like home. And so just really fortunate to live here. Served in the Air Force active duty for 4 years, came back, worked in the private sector, worked at the corporate office of Royal King, and then have worked at Eastern for the last 10 years and been in the position for just a little over a year now. And it's just been a fantastic opportunity to serve the community and to serve the institution. I have a 4-year-old son and a 6-year-old little girl and an amazing wife, and we all love the institution and the city of Charleston. My kids love to run the halls of Old Main and to torment President Glassman. Jay can be a witness to that for sure. So it really is a family affair for us when it comes to being part of the community and being a part of the Eastern Illinois University. As far as being Associate Vice President for Enrollment Management, just the responsibilities are, just to provide strategic planning and leadership and vision when it comes to shaping the incoming class for the institution. And serving those students as well when they're here. So it's really an awesome opportunity, and a lot of collaborative work goes on in this position between financial aid, Office of the Registrar, admissions is a key player, marketing, web services, housing, new student family programs. We all work together to make sure that the student is served well. And even working with the academic departments, it really takes the whole university to get the incoming class that will come here and walk across that stage in 4 to 6 years. And really that's my primary goal, is to make sure that as many students, every student, comes here, steps on campus, finds their home and their fit, and then walks across that campus and goes out and has that opportunity to change the world with the skills that we have equipped them with during their time here at Eastern Illinois University.
Save me a question later on, Josh, so thank you very much for that description. We're taping here in the middle of May, and back at the beginning of April, EIU announced some changes to various academic areas, realignment of course areas. Here are some of the names of the new courses. We'll show that on the screen here. College of Health and Human Services, Lumpkin College of Business and Technology, and that'll include the School of Business and the School of Technology. College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, which will include the School of Communication and Journalism, plus the School of Fine and Performing Arts, and the College of Education, which will include the School of Extended Learning. So Jay, what does this all mean, and why did this happen now for EIU?
Well, as you know, Eastern's been part of a two-year process called Vitalization, and that really is a strategic sort of review of the landscape, our structures, our academic programming, as well as ways in which we can create new opportunities for students to thrive, new opportunities to create new programs, as well as sort of create institutions and structures on campus that reflect our values and our mission. And over the past 2 years, there's been a lot of energy and excitement around health and human services programming. We have a number of outstanding programs: communication disorders and sciences on campus, health promotion, kinesiology, recreation, and as well as family consumer sciences. And so one of our goals was to create a knowable, understandable, and high visibility academic framework for new programs to grow. We created a pre-occupational therapy option this year, and hopefully we'll have some programming at the graduate level in that area. So part of it's just about rationalizing sort of structures, and every institution changes over time. Right. And that's normal. The last time we did this on campus was 26 years ago or something like that.
I was wondering that, yeah.
You know, and so the health and human services thing emerges from campus discussion and really excitement around new programs and new opportunities. And the College of Liberal Arts brings together all the classic liberal arts and sciences, which is consistent with who we are. I mean, one of the great things about Eastern is we provide every learner with a comprehensive general education program, as well as a comprehensive program array with traditional majors in philosophy, English, as well as professional programs like education. We're a formal normal school. So the College of Education and Professional Studies will be renamed just the College of Education and focus on that K-12 teacher pre-service education and pre-service training priorities, as well as K-12 administration at the graduate level. And then finally, the Lumpkin College of Business and Technology really builds on our strengths with respect to not only the AACSB accredited School of Business, but also the opportunity to have new intersections between technology, such as data analytics and so on. And we have a computer information technology program and an MIS program. There's lots of complementary sort of programs that I think can be strengthen the identity of the School of Business and Technology in those individual programs. And the other piece is just nomenclature, right? Lumpkin College of Business and Applied Sciences isn't quite as clear what they do. And so I think, you know, sharpening the mission of every unit, right, whether it's education or business and technology, and creating a clarity and familiarity in language as well as focus and values is really important. So the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences is sort of a great opportunity to bring all the disciplines that are traditionally liberal arts and sciences together in one location to collaborate. Health and Human Services creates an identifiable and knowable home for all things health related and human services related. And the other two sharpened missions and nomenclature, I think, really are an opportunity for us to just focus on our priorities, right, which are high-quality liberal arts and sciences experiences, wonderful professional programs that are nationally and regionally accredited, and high-quality outcomes. You know, Josh talked about making sure those students walk across that stage. Mm-hmm. That really is our number one priority. Eastern excels at not only first-time, full-time student retention, that's first year to second year, but also our graduation rate. That's one of the reasons we excel as an institution. We exceed our peers, and we are approaching our aspirant institutions across the nation in terms of outcomes.
These changes for the academic areas, these are effective now?
Well, they're in the process. You know, we're going to take the next year as a transition. Okay. July 1, actually July 2nd is actually Monday. Correct. July 2nd, we'll begin that transition, and we're in the process of working with stakeholders across campus to identify ways to enhance those plans. In fact, you know, some of the nomenclature's names have already changed. The College of Fine and Performing Arts, the faculty wanted an alternate name, so now it's going to be the School of the Arts. and we're seeing other sorts of similar sorts of opportunities for faculty to own and own the mission, own the vision, because this doesn't work if the faculty don't believe in it, and don't understand and don't have a commitment to advancing their values and their priorities. That's the only way any realignment works, is that it has to reflect the campus sentiment.
Before we talk to Josh about enrollment, I want to ask you about the Vitalization Project, which you referenced. It's been going on for a couple of years. It's ongoing. What is the next step for the Vitalization Project? Well,
vitalization is really an opportunity for us to look at strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats, SWOT analysis. I mean, any economic development person, any business person is going to be familiar with that language. But it really is an intentional survey of our strengths and opportunities for growth and change, and provides us with a framework to really ask tough questions about our own sort of priorities, our values, and how do we get to our goals and objectives, which obviously are increasing enrollment, being a benefit to Coles County and the region in terms of economic development, and creating the programs that resonate with the needs of industry, not only in Coles County, but across the state of Illinois.
All right, very good. Thank you very much, Jay. Josh, let's talk about your area involving enrollment management. What are some of the things that you and the folks over in your area have been working on to help bring the next wave of EIU students to Charleston and EIU's campus?
When I look at the past year, I really am just in awe of the collective work of not just my area, but the campus. I think about our EIU Advocates program, and even beyond campus, bringing in our alums who work in the high schools, work at community colleges, are in the communities. Those folks are out there influencing prospective high school students. And we created that program this year, and it's just been fantastic. It's not just been fantastic for the interaction between those prospective students and those influencers, but for our admissions counselors to walk into those high school classroom rooms and they'd be plastered with EIU gear. And this is awesome. It's encouraging for all of us. They're sending pictures back. It's just amazing. I mean, there's so many initiatives like that. We revamped our scholarship program for fall 19. It's going to be just awesome for prospective students. We're currently analyzing the way that we're leveraging financial aid, the way that we're awarding it, to make sure that we're best serving our students. The branding and marketing campaign was huge. I mean, and it took everybody. It took our best student brand advocates and our alumni and our faculty, and everybody's talking about what makes EIU great, and that's what formulated this amazing message that is available through our brand guidebook that's going to guide everything that we do. I think about the enrollment forum that we had this year, and it's snowing, and it's like I'm peeling out in the parking lot and covering the president's car in snow, and yet that room was packed because our faculty are all in, for this effort of recruiting these prospective students and serving our current students. It's just been awesome. It's been awesome to just see the campus come together and be fully willing to do whatever it takes to move us forward and get that qualified class that's going to succeed and like we talked about before, walk across that stage. But I mean, you can go out to the vitalization, part of vitalization is enrollment management as well. And you can go out to the website and you can see, we've got 16 vitalization recommendations completed. Wow. Just in the last year and a half, and 19 are in progress. So there's a lot going on, and it takes a lot in the competitive environment that is higher education. It takes a lot to make sure that you're getting the message succinctly out to those prospective students about exactly what it is we do. And I feel like we haven't done that as well as we could have in the past. And so I really feel like we're hitting the ground running, and we're doing what we need to do, and this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning of our forward momentum, this freshman class, the increase that we're going to see. This is just the beginning, and I'm super excited about that.
Part of recruiting EIU students, and I asked both of you about this, is the use of social media. And if you go on the websites and you work here at Eastern and you see all the different videos, the tweets, variety of posts. I'll ask you first, Josh, about the use of social media in bringing in that next wave of EIU students and the brand of EIU.
Sure. Social media is crucial with this generation of students. I mean, they are They are on social media platforms multiple times a day. So it's just an avenue to get that message that we talked about across. And what's incredible to me is, we can do paid advertisements, but some of the most effective things we do, like I think about the EIU Go Time weekend that we had May 20th through the 22nd. I mean, we generated 600,000 impressions.
Wow.
You don't pay a dime. And because of our dedicated alumni, our current students, our faculty, they're out there on social media telling their positive stories, and that's just getting traction. It's being shared, and it's Twitter, and it's Instagram, and it's Facebook, and you're talking, 40,000 people reached, and it's 500 individual posts, and that's just organic, and I love that. I think that is some of the most effective social media we can do is when it's organic, when it's people telling their stories, when they're talking about how they've been impacted by Eastern. There's no more effective narrative. We can't fabricate something more effective than the stories of the people who've been impacted by this university, and I think social media is just an excellent platform for that to happen.
And Jay, to follow up on that, the use of social media is everywhere now in today's world, and EIU seems to be in the middle of that right now to get out what you need to.
Creating a buzz is really critical, right? Creating a buzz and an awareness of the brand, if you're going to use the lingo,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Brand awareness is critical, but we got to get them to campus. And they need to have that have a taste of what that signature experience is like here at Eastern. That faculty student relationship, the high impact practices we deploy. And over the past couple of weeks, I've been focusing with some of my deans, visiting school boards to talk about our faculty who've been in classrooms in Oakland and Paris and so on. I've been to Effingham, Marshall, and really all throughout sort of East Central Illinois. Because it's relationships. It is that critical relationship that that allow 98% of our students to say they would come to Eastern again. I mean, think about that. 98% of our graduates say it was one of the best decisions they ever made. That speaks volumes to what outstanding work our faculty do and the outstanding experience our students have here on campus. So social media is critical for the buzz, but building that relationship, getting them here on campus to see what we do every day on this campus, that is really what closes the deal. And we close the deal every day with every learner for 4 to 8 years. And that's why we have outstanding graduation rates, outstanding retention rates.
And you just had the spring commencement take place, and you guys are off and running, planning for the next school year, 2018-19 school year. We appreciate your time here on City Spotlight. Dr. Jay Gatrell, he's the Provost and Vice President of Academic Affairs. Thank you, Jay.
Thank you.
And Josh Norman, Associate Vice President for Enrollment Management at EIU. Josh, thank you for coming on.
Thanks so much for having us.
Appreciate your time on City Spotlight, gentlemen. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And coming up next here on City Spotlight, we'll talk with Andy Trueblood. He's a volunteer blood drive coordinator for the American Red Cross. But first, let's take a look at some of the upcoming activities going on in Charleston. And welcome back to City Spotlight. We continue this episode on Charleston. In this segment, we're going to talk with Andy Trueblood. He's a volunteer blood drive coordinator for the American Red Cross. Welcome to the program, Andy.
Good morning. How are you?
Pleasure. First-time guest here on City Spotlight. We look forward to talking about blood drives, why you're involved with them, and a couple of gentlemen that were honored recently at a recent blood drive. But first-time guest, Andy, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, please?
Well, my name is Andy Trueblood. I've lived in this area my entire life. Worked for Donnelly's for 25 and a half years. And then on September 11th of 2002, on my way home in a hurry, after watching a one-year anniversary attack, and I hit a car with a motorcycle at a high rate of speed. Made it home 3 months later. So that's a little bit about me. I needed blood to live. Mm-hmm. And I was pretty well broken up, a lot of broken bones. So in 2006, I'd recovered enough. It took me that long to where I could actually do something, give back, and I wanted to do something different. I wanted to start something, Basically, my idea was to just start a blood drive. Just do a blood drive. I thought that would be cool to do. And my blood drive ended up not stopping. It was so successful, the first one. People heard my story. They knew how passionate I was. And I think more than anything, they showed up because of me. And it was such a success that they continued. They wanted me to continue. And we've gone since the middle of 2006. Wow. We've gone this far, and I know we're well over 3,000 units of blood now we've collected at that one blood drive. I do others, but just at that one. I do it every 2 months, have since that time. We've only had 2 drives that were canceled because of weather, right. And that's a little bit about me.
Wow, you kind of answered my first question about you, why you do it. Thank you for that. So 12 years you've been doing blood drives since 2006. Yes. Take us behind the scenes, if you will. What does it take to set up and run a blood drive, Andy?
Well, where I have them at usually, and I move around because of scheduling, but normally I have them at Salisbury Church here in Charleston. Okay. And to do it, church is set up certain ways. You've got tables, you've got chairs in the welcome area, and everything has to be moved to make room for the Red Cross. So they come up, you get everything moved, they pull in, they back up, they start unloading the truck. That's quite an intensive thing. It's like a choreographic event. They get everything out, get their computers hooked up, set up the beds. We have to bring out tables for them. It's kind of neat to watch. They're very, very good at what they do.
We have some video we're going to show here about what we're going to talk about next. On May 6th, that was a Sunday. We're taping here on May 15th. You had a recent blood drive there at the Salisbury Church in Charleston, and there was a little bit of fanfare there that day. We had a couple of local residents from Charleston that were honored for all their years of donating blood. Can you tell us about that day and those gentlemen that were honored?
Yeah, Donald Schaefer has been coming to my blood drives for a very, very long time. And I got to know Don, watched him reach certain milestones along the way, and that was incredible to watch that. So then one day, I received a call from Luz Wittenberger, and she told me about her husband Bob, how he had done so much for so long and had not been recognized by anybody. So, and she'd heard about me through mutual friends, and so I called him and I said, Bob, would you be willing to do something with this? Because I said, this is something that's never had happened in America. I have 2 veterans in one town that have given this level of giving, or given this level. And he said his concern was he wants to make sure that more people donate blood. That was his whole thing. He wasn't looking for praise, neither was Don. They just do it because that's the type of people they are. Mm-hmm. That's why I do it. I don't care about any of this stuff. I do it because somebody saved my life, and I just want to give back for that. So
giving back, and for the record, for those at home that may have not heard about how much Don and Bob had given.
They've given more than 34 gallons of blood in their lifetime. Don started in Germany there, and then Bob started when he was in college, and then he was drafted in the military, and then he's continued since then. So they both serve the community. They both do different things, and it's awesome. There is one thing I want to share. Okay. Since I've been doing this blood drive, I've met 3 people that have found out they had cancer because they came to give blood and their counts were off, and the doctors and our people at the Red Cross recommended they go see their doctor, and they actually caught the cancer in time. So it's extremely healthy to give blood, but medically it's very beneficial. You get a full checkup.
Wow. So. To kind of put a bow on the recent blood drive on May 6th, there was a lot of extra people that showed up there. Dr. Brandon Combs, the mayor of Charleston, showed up there. You had a woman serviceman that was there. A little girl was dressed up in an American red. Talk about some of those. Some plaques were given from Mayor Combs to Bob and Don.
Yes, we had several plaques made and several things done. I have to admit, I have to talk about the city of Charleston. It was amazing how this city came together and really wanted to showcase these guys and what they've done. And I was very impressed with Brandon Combs. Jimmy Rankin could not have been better. It was so much fun to work with them. To see a Humvee and 6 squads come in was an amazing thing. And I unfortunately did not get to see that except on the news because I was running around trying to coordinate all this stuff.
Within moments of being there that day to get video of that unique day, I could tell that something special was truly happening. So it'll be ingrained in a lot of our minds for a long time to come. So thank you for the invite that day. That was really cool to see those 2 local residents of Charleston be honored for their contribution. Last question for you, Andy. I want to ask you about the role of the local community. How does you just mentioned how Charleston helped you out that day by helping you honor those 2 gentlemen. What's the role of the local community to these type of blood drives that you help coordinate?
Well, the most important thing is I consider myself very fortunate. I have some of the best blood donors around. They're very dedicated, very loyal, and people will come and give blood if they're asked. I want more people to come to the blood drives. You know, we support St. Jude so much. This community does, Illinois does. We're very good about that. A lot of people don't realize the American Red Cross is supplemental blood supply for St. Jude, and more than likely some of the blood that's been collected at our drives has ended up with St. Jude. And somebody out there donated blood that saved my life, and if it happens to be you, I thank you so much.
Right.
So,
very good. We appreciate all that you do, and coming here on City Spotlight, Andy Trueblood, a volunteer blood drive coordinator for the American Red Cross. It's been a pleasure having you in studio today, Andy.
It's been a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much, and thank you for doing what you do for the community.
Thank you for your work as well. Thank you, Andy. And that'll do it for this first episode of Season 5 of City Spotlight, this episode on Charleston. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on City Spotlight. City Spotlight is supported by Consolidated Communications. CCI is honored to salute the cities and their leaders in the area, as well as providing TV, internet, and phone service to local homes and businesses. We live where we work and are proud to support the communities we serve. More information available at consolidated.com.